from the internet. This is the Crystal Chronicles, your official, unofficial Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast. On tonight's episode 41, recorded on February 7, 2019, we are going to address the Beatrix hype. We're going to talk about the Arid Lost Chapters, the Reminiscence, and the fifth wave of Awakening. So stay with us for this great episode. My name is Pierre. I am joined tonight by my co-host Ben. Ben, and of course Ben has been gone for a very long time now. That would be Mark and Mino. Good evening, gentlemen.
The first thing for some reason in my mind, I was thinking you were gonna announce yourself or name yourself as Mino, not Mino. So Ben, it's good to have you back with us from season 1. How you doing? Oh, well, apparently Ben is off there. So welcome, Decidians, Twitchers, all of you.
It's kind of funny because as I said, Ben, I was trying to understand why that word came out of my mouth, and I said it another time to see why did I say that? Is anyone with me named Ben? Like, I couldn't realize why that name came out.
I was doing like you got so hey Pierre. Hey other person whose name is Mino.
Hey,
how are you doing today?
I am having a great week and I am in a great mood. So let's hope that translates into the show tonight.
Let's hope so. Anyway, at the time of this recording, obviously, if you are live with us on Twitch, that won't make much sense. But that's the time we're recording this. All of the fifth wave of Awakening stuff and banners has just dropped literally 7 minutes ago. So it's all new stuff. So it's not really newsworthy as per se. We're already gonna talk about it on the show a little later. Now let's see. In terms of new content, obviously we've had a lot. We've had Beatrix. We've had so many things, but nothing in terms of quality of life or huge change or anything like that. I mean, it's been content all long. Can anybody take this over? It feels like my mouth's just going like blah, 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 and nothing good's coming out of it. Jeez.
Mark, please. You want to do
this?
this?
There was the only like issues that we got was this known issue about high shards. When attempting to exchange for high shards in the token exchange shop beyond high shard limit 999, terrible limit, a player may encounter an error. So there you go. Hope they fix that.
Someone's asking on Twitch if I am drunk right now. Unfortunately, the answer is no. I am very much sober, so it's
welcome to the show.
Yeah, I know, for real.
First, what's on deck? What are we talking about? It seems like Sunday was 100 years ago. I don't know about you guys. So much has happened in the game since Sunday.
Oh, I thought you were going to mention the lame ass Super Bowl.
I'm not. First of all, you can't say that.
Wow! Don't insult other people like Pierre. I'm gonna stay out of it.
You have to say the big game. You can't say the SB word. That's copyrighted. No, it's copyrighted. Like, they're gonna come after us now. All our Twitch money's gone.
Oh shit! But no, seriously. Horrible game. Boring game. Boring half show. 100%. I mean. Come on, guys. I watch one game of football per year, and that's what you had to give me?
I didn't see one advertisement for Opera Omnia. So.
I was expecting them, to drop $1 million for that.
Your target demographic is watching the Super Bowl. Why aren't we hyping the game? Come on. Where's all that money that we're investing into advertising?
I mean, how much is it for Nana? Is it like $5 million
50 million? I think it's a lot.
It can't be 50 million.
50 bajillion. How much is the wall going to cost? It's roughly that much.
All right. I think it's definitely time to go back on
what an intro, guys.
I know. We're nailing this one. Oops, we're losing Twitch viewers by the second.
Nice.
We only have 6 subscribers to lose, and we've already lost some, I bet.
I know. So, I've even unsubscribed, and I was one of them 6.
Already unsubscribed to yourself.
All right, let's move on.
the big news on Sunday, besides the game that you can't tell what it was, is the Beatrix event. That was just last Sunday.
I want to address something. No Escape on Twitch is saying, didn't you guys say you won't start the podcast at the same time with DFFO content? You have to keep in mind that this is why we changed from Wednesday to Thursday. And then Square Enix decided to be a whole bunch of jerky faces and switch their content release from Wednesday to Thursdays. So that's my.
Yeah, guys.
Yep.
This is a once in a forever,
Yeah.
once in a blue moon thing for DFFOO content to drop on Thursday.
Because we have a
Like,
calendar now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time ever, and I doubt they'll do it again unless special
But
occasion.
it's really not. I mean, there's not a lot of content dropping on tonight, so you know, we felt like if you're listening at home, you're like, well, I'm listening on Friday morning, washing dishes, or whatever. However, I'm taking a bubble bath. However you listen to us, I don't know, no judgment.
Or
right?
if you're doing it live, you're doing it while either auto battling the World of Illusions or auto battling Cycle Quest to level your newly awakened characters. So hopefully it's not too demanding and you can tune in.
I'm sorry, were you talking to me? I was auto battling.
I was auto battling something.
Just kidding. But all right, let's move on to Beatrix. So I think it's all agreed that we all have fully limit broke Beatrix, right? All of us with the EX and all?
Mm-hmm.
All of us, all three hosts have all of her gear. How much did it cost everybody?
I was going to ask the same thing, you bastard. And people on Twitch, you say it with us. So tell us, how much did you invest in your fully geared Beatrix? So Mino, how far down the rabbit hole did you go?
I was going to ask Mark first because I think he had the worst luck of ours. I don't remember yours exactly, Pierre. But let me tell you.
It was a free pull, which was all garbage, and then 3 pulls, and I had it all. 15k gems.
Any tickets?
Nope.
All right, so Pierre was the luckiest. Mine's was very close. I had the free pull, 15k gems, 40 tickets. Each pull was a different Beatrix weapon. So I got the 15 CP on the free, another 15 CP on the next one, the EX after that, and then the 35 CP is my last pull. Nothing on tickets. And I almost stopped myself after the EX, but I got drunk one night and decided to pull anyways, and luckily I got that 35 right away. How about you, Mark?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull them up here. So my free pull was Cryo. And then I did.
Did you cryo a lot when it happened?
I did 50 tickets. My cat is knocking down my Canadian Dry, jackass. Anyway, I did 50 tickets and I got 1 5-star in 50 tickets. A cryo 15 CP. 1 in 50 is not good odds. Then I did a multi-pull and I got a Ramza 15.
Ouch. So how far down the rabbit hole are you right now? That's 50 tickets.
I'm a free pull, 50 tickets, and now 5,000 gems, 10,000 gems. I got 3 cryo, 35 CPs.
Wow, so that's a pretty good pull. That's a pretty good
I'm
pull.
fully limit broke my cryo. Didn't have anything for her.
I'd not be upset at that.
Next multi pull, so we're 15,000. Terra 15 CP. Of course, my Terra's max limit break Ivory X. Next. So all I've gotten right now is 1 Creole 15 CP, 4 Creole 35 CP, 1 Terra 15 CP, and 1 off banner. Next multi-pull, so this is 20,000. I've got Creole 35, 2 more Terra 15 CP. So it's going real good, is all I'm saying at this point.
So not a single piece of Beatrix gear.
It's not a good night, is all I'm saying. Then, thank goodness, 5th multi-pull, I got two more Creole 35 CPs because, that's awesome. Another Terra 15 CP, a Terra 35, and Beatrix's 70. So the first thing I got was her 70. Then it took another 70 tickets for me to finally get her 35 CP. So,
all right. So grand total?
Yeah. 120 tickets and 5 or 25,000 gems, 5 multiples plus the free.
25,000 gems is still not that bad in the
It's not
grand
bad at all.
scheme
I
of
mean, it's
things.
still
Yeah.
really, really good, actually.
So I guess it's
I
safe
was
to say,
expecting to dump all 75,000 that I had at the time. So
yeah, I guess it's safe to say that all of us hosts got super lucky on the Beatrix banner.
All right, let's see.
yeah,
So on the Twitch, what do we have here? We have Sesam that dropped 50K and 60 tickets. Your Highness 70K and 100 tickets. Crease 30K and 30 tickets to get the EX. River Reeves 15K 50 tickets. God of Cloud 9 90 tickets and 15K to MLB everything. Final character got EX on free multi, then had to chase the 35 CP, 20k, and 70 tickets. I don't need this, says I invested 0 gems and 0 tickets for my LLB Beatrix. Something doesn't add up here.
Tickets only, right? No, wait.
No, I think he's just trolling us. I don't need this, says got our 35 and EX on the free pull for 2 separate accounts. Alright, that guy is kicked from our channel. Ego Wanda 40k 20 tickets and Deep Proximate 35k and 50 tickets. So yeah, it's not a good thing for a lot of people that went all in.
It sounds like a lot of people got pretty lucky. These are pretty low gem counts for the people who got it. But the big question is, was it worth it? What do you guys think? Now that we all have MLB Beatrixes, are you guys enjoying her? Do you think she's pretty hyped?
I think she's great. I mean, I've been looking for another DPS unit in general, so I'm really happy with her. I've been bringing her to non-synergy, non-lightning content, so I'm happy with the investment. I think you have to learn how to play it a little bit, but other than that, yeah.
Well, it seems people on Twitch agree with you. Yes, she's very good. I'm happy with B, so it was worth it for sure. So yeah, and what do you think, Mino?
Um, huh.
Huh.
I I mean, I think she's an extremely good character. Definitely one of the best ones, but I think I jumped the gun when I said she could replace Kate Sith. It might just be the recent fights, but I still think Kate Sith has been a better character. But I think we'll talk about that once we talk about her EX,
Yep.
Mark, if you want
Yeah, we'll
to bring us into
cover
that.
her whole thing in a
Yeah.
second.
hmm
Yeah.
Okay, so Mark,
Did you tell us what you think, Pierre? I don't remember.
Yeah, Pierre.
I have an opinion.
Do
Yeah,
you?
of
Oh,
course.
I don't.
Your opinion.
gee, I was not ready for that. No, seriously, I liked her a lot, but as I mentioned, I think it was on Twitter, I've completed the EX, and one thing I did notice is that even though, she's supposed to be a booby version of Kate Sith, um, her lack of healing compared to Kate kind of hurts. So,
Yeah.
but she's got an EX, so more
Yeah, no,
ability uses.
I feel after playing around with all 3 characters
All
for
three?
a while. Well, Selfie,
Oh,
Kate, and
okay.
Beatrix. I mean, I just feel like she's completely different. That she's not really support. That she's much more offense. She's not a support. She's not an offensive support character. I mean, I almost never use Saint's Cloth, very truthfully.
Right, right. If we're talking
So
about just those 3 characters, I mean, we
yeah,
predicted that she would be a much more offensive version, but I think after messing around for a week, I've decided that between the 3 characters, if I had to pick one, I would go with Selfie.
yeah, I would go with Selfie too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's address Beatrix and her kit. So you mentioned Saint's Cloth. Um, so let's go over her real quick and say what she's made of. So
What is
Beatrix,
she made of?
yeah, she's made of hate and pureness. So Saint's Cloth is a support buff that grants, bravery based on max brave and a 6-turn defense up. Now I'm reading this off my game. I'm not sure if that's with the awakening
That's
or
not
not.
fully no. Yeah, it gives there's 2 buffs when you do Saint's Cloth. The first is defense. The second is what? What's the second one with Saint's Cloth?
HP regen.
HP regen. Yep.
I wait, what? I thought she didn't have HP regen. That's what I just said.
No, she gets it with her.
Slight Brave based on max defense boost up. She does get the HP attack plus HP attack plus with that. Where's the 100 Night Killer is her power? Nope, that's not the right one. Defender of the Kingdom, that's it. Yep, party turn, 9 turn HP regen.
Huh.
So defense up, party regen.
Yeah.
HP regen.
I don't know
Oh,
what
yeah.
the percentage is. I agree with Pierre that without doing any research, it might seem weaker than Kate's.
No, yeah,
but I
sure.
also,
She's got healing.
yeah, I just don't, like Kate was never my healer anyways. That's what I use Selfie for.
Right. But it's a turn heal as opposed to, if you use Selfie is a heal, Aerith is a heal. There's several other characters that just grant heal, right? But this is an HP. This is every turn you heal HP damage.
Yeah, to be fair to Pierre, it is a generic buff, so it could be pushed off. Pierre,
And right, if you're doing with other support characters, you're pushing those buffs off.
I appreciate you guys trying to save my thing here. It is great. All right, let's talk about the Tender ability.
Thunder Slash.
Thunder Slash.
That's her awesome Thunder ability that can overflow Max Brave. So
yep.
That's all you need to know about that. Once you get 9 buffs for that, right?
And it's a total of 9 buffs across your party.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, 9 buffs across the party. So yeah, 3 on each person. So that's the nice thing about her. You don't have to have 2 other supports because you can use Saint's Cloth, and then Thunder Slash grants her unique ability, her unique buff called Noble Loyalty. And so that's then 9 right there. Now, if you pair her with another support, any other support, or any other character that gives a buff or a frame buff, you're going to have it. So that's why if you do something like Selfie, then she's going to just go straight into her plus versions. So, and her plus version for HP and Brave Attack. And I do like the fact that she does have a nice Brave Attack and a nice HP attack plus and plus. So she does have a lot of longevity even besides her 2 main abilities, because you're not going to use Saint's Cloth that often. It's really nice if you need some bravery for everybody real quick. Like she's the last person to go and everybody's used their abilities. Or if you need some extra buffs, to up her abilities. But
is it a good support character buff to use? If you're going to bring a friend Beatrix?
Oh, is Beatrix a good friend character?
Yeah.
Depends on the battle. Yeah. If you're doing a Lightning Week battle, sure.
But I mean, my question was more, is Saints Cross an argument to bring Beatrix as a support character?
I doubt it.
If you're bringing Beatrix in for a Lightning Week character, or you're bringing Beatrix in for, just massive damage on a Bahamut summit.
Yeah, like Mark said earlier, I think the buffs are a bonus, not her selling point. Her selling point is damage.
All right.
Yeah. We're actually really limited in our DPS, our level 60 era DPS. So, she's not full DPS like Squall, or Noctis, but she is pretty good DPS.
All right. Now let's talk about our EX, Climazard, which
the best.
Does a lot of damage. I mean, basically it's a 4-hit group magic attack, a brave attack, and group HP attack, and does a whole bunch of other stuff. It's a slow recast EX, and if you have 9 buffs, it actually becomes Climazard Plus and becomes super awesome. Am I right?
I think it was Quetz who's on our Discord and does a lot of great things for the DFFO community in general. Quetzalma, and he's on Twitch too. I think he ran some numbers, and it is potential. There's potential with a nice team setup to almost hit the global damage cap,
which
which
is
would be which would be 99,999.
okay.
Is that with or without Bahamut summon?
That might be during a summon. I'm not sure if that's that. I think that would be during a summon
And AoE targets too, I would imagine, right?
without AoE because it does more damage on a single target than it does on multiple targets.
People
Mm,
are saying definitely wit. So
With
mhm.
summon
Yeah.
or with AoE?
Yeah, with summon.
Yeah.
with
And
summon,
Yeah,
AoE
with
sorry.
summon. Yeah.
AoE
Oh
is
yeah,
still
yeah, with Bahamut.
questionable. Because you're right, it does 160% damage on a single target, but it does 200% on just two targets. Because 100% each instead of focusing it all on one. So I kind of want to see
Oh,
this.
I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, she does have the potential to do a lot of damage, and you can, now we're going to get lightning in peril. We're going to get elemental in power, so you can buff up her lightning even against bosses that aren't lightning weak. So I think she's going to stick around here for a while. We're not going to, this is not going to be a one event trick and then done. So
Mhm.
Uh, we had previous events, that would benefit you if you brought physical characters or like Squall or magic characters like Terra. Where did she fit in that?
yeah, I didn't realize till somewhat after the event started and I started using her that all of her attacks are magic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a
she
great.
has she has a sword. All of her attacks are magic, including her brave attacks.
Well, kind of like
Wait,
Um,
Terra. She has a.
are you sure her brave attack is magic? Really?
I thought her brave attack and HP attack were considered magic.
I want to see
Because
the
I'm
That's what I was
Uh,
gonna ask. If the audience can confirm, I could swear the brave and
I'll run
HP
a.
are uh
I'll run a. I don't think
physical.
she's. Ooh, soaring phoenix co-op. That's fun. Anyway, let me. Yeah, I'll run in while you guys.
God of
Do
Clouds
that.
is confirmed. So
Oh, good. Yeah,
Conf-
yeah. It's all magic, baby.
wow,
All magic.
really? I had no idea. That is the weirdest thing.
hmm,
Yep. Here.
magic.
Magic, 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 magic. So she is a nice magic option, obviously.
Hmm The
Um,
the best magic single target DPS we have right now, I'd say.
yeah, unless Tara's buffed.
Hey, Mark, you're the FF9 lore guy. What's
Yeah, I
what's
love
up with
FF9.
her eye?
She lost it
Do we know how it happened or?
in a battle, I assume.
I read this. I read this
I forget
actually.
that. I don't think it's in. I
I
don't know
read
that they
this
mentioned in the game.
this lore thing. Apparently, it was in the background material. This is the dumbest reason. You guys want to hear this? Apparently, she had a duel with Steiner when Steiner was a new recruit, and Steiner by accident won the duel by tripping over something and hitting her, so she lost her eye, and that's why she has such a grudge against Steiner for most of the game. Apparently, that is official lore in
Yeah,
the
her and Steiner
Ultimania.
trained together as Pluto Knights. I recall
Yes,
that,
that is so. That's
and she
they
always
actually
had. They
gave an
always
official
were.
reason
Yeah,
for that. Steiner put out her eye on accident in a duel and beat her, which is the.
good times.
Huh?
But they fall in love, so it's good.
Do they? Oh, come on. That's like the worst couple ever. That's
I
like
think it's
walk on Lulu kind of crap.
I think it's implied by the end of the game that they're
Yeah, I
a
think it
couple. Yeah,
is. Yeah.
Ugh, jeez.
yeah. What's not to love about Steiner?
I don't know. I just Google like Beatrix lost an eye, and
Oh,
it says she's a knight and lost an eye to the prince in a sparring match that went horribly wrong.
Oh, so not Steiner, a prince? The prince? What prince?
I don't
what?
know.
Garnet's
I
brother?
know.
Who
Now it
died?
says somewhere later it says Beatrix once lost a personal contest to Steiner. Perhaps it was an eye gouging contest.
Yeah, because I could have
Watch
sworn
out.
I read in the Ultimania she had a duel with Steiner when he was a new recruit. He like tripped over on accident, beat her by taking out her eye or something like
Well, that has to hurt like a.
that.
Ouch.
Yep. All right. So let's see. What do we have here? So on the banner, there's Beatrix, there's Terra, there's Kral. Nothing new for for Terra and Kral, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now I've heard something about a pull battle. What's that? I honestly have no idea. I just know that it's something Broadway saying, mentioned, or did, or whatever.
Yeah, Broadway Saiyan, friend of the show, 40, the Broadway Saiyan on Twitch and YouTube.
But don't
And
go see
one
him
of
now because
he's
bastards
not
streaming.
he's not streaming right now,
He's
is he?
not? Oh, I thought he was streaming
No,
at the same time as us tonight.
he's not streaming right
Oh,
now.
then he's a great guy.
No.
Love him. Go see
Yeah,
him
well
later.
then. Great. Yeah, so 40 and his friend Josepher has been playing DFFO since day one. He's really known for the card game, the Final Fantasy card game, and does YouTube videos and Twitches on them. And he's been doing some like new to the game videos, so encourage you guys to check those out. And if you have like friends who are playing the game starting out for first anniversary, check those out. But they did a pull battle on Beatrix. Like they decided we're going to do this many tickets and this many multi-pulls, and they like tallied up. They gave each item a point total, and they tallied up. It's kind of cool. I thought it was a neat idea. Maybe something we can do in the future. But I'm not sure that a point total matters because the goal was to get Beatrix's EX, and they both did eventually anyway. So Ordy pulled it on during their battle, and Josepher pulled it much later. And I think Josepher's one that he's like several 100,000 gems, so he wasn't not going to get it. But
Are you saying I'm not top tier with my 35k gems? What you're saying?
I've seen several people well over 300,000 gems. So,
but these people they pay hard money for this.
Not all of them, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. I don't check their bank accounts.
What's wrong with you people? Hey, you know what we haven't heard of, and I'm derailing, and I'll go right back to the outline after. I made a pubic. No, that's not. I made a public call to the people who met each other on the FFO last week, and they did not reach to me. Man. I am so sad that we will not be hearing their story.
It's not true now.
I mean, I'm still thinking the way you can hit the ladies with a couple of son of a sub and they fall for you. That's not a real thing. Okay.
I just throw a couple so fluffies in there and the ladies melt.
So fluffy. Story. Are all the Final Fantasy IX characters endgame characters? So as we all know, the characters when they get in DFFO world, they get into some point in the story, which is why Lightning and her sister Felicia, whatever's her name, they're not from the
Lightning
same.
And Felicia, that's her name.
They're not from the same period, and Felicia's like, well, I'm older now, and you still think I'm a kid, and all of that. So like Cecil is still Dark Knight, well, not for long, and Kral and Gallif's like, well, you're not dead, I still love you, and that's not weird at all, and all of that. But I think Mark's assumption is that Sarah, thank you, Sarah. I think Mark's assumption is that all the FF9 characters are like endgame, which means they still have all of their memory from the whole game, right?
Well, Beatrix turns fairly late in the game. Not like the end of the game, but it's fairly late in the game when she like joins Steiner and they escape and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's toward, and maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it's been a little while. I played it recently, but not this month. It's fairly late in the game, but yeah. So everybody's like, "Oh, Beatrix," and no one's like, "Holy crap! This is the chick who almost killed us several times throughout the game," because she's a boss that you fight and she just Clim Hazard you and you're dead. You're all at 1 HP. That's what that attack does in the game.
Kreese says Beatrix changes size during disc 2.
Changes size?
Really?
Yeah, she
Which
stops beating your ass over and actually helps you
Oh,
for a change.
oh,
was there 4 discs in
You
Final
guys
Fantasy
remember
9?
when games actually had
Yeah, we had
discs?
discs. Yeah, was there 4 discs? Kreese, do you remember
I want to
in
say
Final Fantasy 9?
I want to say
three, but
3.
probably yeah. I want to say three, but probably four. But also, I remember FF7. It was like 80% of the game on disc one, and
Well, yeah, that's true.
then
It
like
wasn't
10%
evenly
on the
distributed, right?
other one.
Hmm.
So we're going somewhere with this?
No, I just
No? Okay. So are they all endgame characters? What's your opinion? I mean, you wrote this in the outline, so I figure you must have an opinion, right?
no. I just thought it was interesting that no one was like, "Holy crap, it's Beatrix," and like was running away from her. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's Beatrix. I hope she doesn't kill us. I hope it's the good one." Like,
I
okay,
think you're right, Mark. But I skip every cutscene, so I wouldn't know.
yeah.
But
Mino
also,
doesn't like to read, so he
yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
know what's going on in the story.
But I had this conversation with people on our Discord. I remember seeing that Interlude basically confirmed that they've all been in this Dissidia universe fighting for a long time, and all the good guys lost their memories because they lost, and this is supposed to be like the resting universe. So it's selective memory loss. They probably have known each other for a long time, or probably all came from the end game. Who knows? The point is selective amnesia to make all the plots make
But
sense.
did Aerith come from the end game or Zack? Well, we know Laguna didn't come from the end game, right?
No, they actually said in Interlude, they're like, no, we've all been at this war for a long time. Some of us chose to take our young forms, and some
Oh
of
yeah,
us chose to take our old forms.
yeah.
And Galoof's like, oh, I must have chose the old form.
Yeah, that's right. I remember them
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that.
So like, apparently they've been at this forever. They've known each other forever, and they've been friends forever. They just forgot.
Yeah, let's not think about that part of the
Yeah.
story.
So
That's
pretty
fine.
much all of us, when we'll be like very old and in old people homes and everything, we'll have selective memory and we might be friends some days and not friends the other day when we steal each other dudes. That's how it works.
Basically, because in the Dissidia universe, all the villains and heroes are friends too now. So that's probably going to explain why all these villains are joining up.
They're not really joining. They're just giving like dimensional coordinates. They're trading cell phone numbers. It's
Here's
like,
my
if
dimensional
you need
coordinate.
me, just give me a call, man. Give me a text and I'll be right there.
And this explains why
Indeed.
Golbez was like telling Cecil that you should have found the light. How did you regress? And it's because Cecil has selective memory loss and decided to be a Dark Knight again for some reason.
Nah, I'm
Because
fairly
cool,
sure
cooler.
he's got like buttons and stuff. It's like, well, I can't go out like that. I need to put back big old helmet and everything.
Hair loss. Yeah, he's just embarrassed.
All right.
Acne. It's really bad.
Co-op. What's to know about the Beatrix co-op?
First round Saints Cloth. Second round Thunder Slash. Third round Thunder Slash. Fourth round Thunder Slash, and you just do Thunder Slash until someone claim hazards.
Yeah, I've seen so many
About
full
11,
Beatrix
about
parties.
11 rounds.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen so
about
many
11
full
rounds.
Beatrix parties. They just spam Thunder Slash. I don't even know if the boss does anything. But I do know that I've seen too many Beatrixes refuse to throw up Saint's Cloth.
Yeah.
And in my runs, I'm usually the only person who will bother.
Yeah, so just first turn though. First turn Saints Cloth and never use it again and just HP attack. And don't worry about getting broken because it's co-op. Right? Like
Mhm.
just like, yeah, one of you may die. There's a potential if you're doing 3 Beatrix run, 10 turns, 11 turns, one of you may get off. Who cares? Then the other 2 claim hazard and it's dead, right?
Right.
don't wait. I'm saying don't waste turns by reapplying Saints Cloth so that you don't get broken. Just go all that. Just all in. And every once in a while, like if a tear is there slowing you down, you know, just let her do her thing too. Don't worry about it. Don't need a Saints Cloth.
All right. But now about that EX, if there's one thing you do not want is to get broken, right? Because boy, did I get my
Yeah.
ass handed over to me.
In the EX battle, don't get broken because that's not good. That's real bad. But the strategy is pretty much the same. Thunder slash, Thunder slash, Thunder slash, Clem Hazard.
But that thing
Then
is
bring another Beatrix, and then you're
crazy amount of XP.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice.
Screw you, buddy.
No, I'm just saying. So I mean, so I tried to go in with the team that I had talked about last week, which was Beatrix, Realm, and Sarah. I felt like that was going to be a dream team. I
But
used that team.
you meant
Huh?
Felicia.
Felicia, yes. And I fell 10K short of the goal. I think I got 180,000 and I couldn't improve my score. I want to blame the fact that I didn't get Realms 35. Maybe if I got the 35, I could have hit the score. But I've noticed, like Mark said, is this is a pretty defensive battle. As in, like, it's better to not get broken and play defense. So bringing, say, like Selfie to reduce damage and heal, or a bunch of batteries, I felt like was better because my team was hyper offensive. It did not work. Like Mark said, as soon as someone got broken,
it's bad.
someone was in risk of dying.
You want to see my score? Here is it. Here's it. That's my score. And I beat the EX.
What was your score?
0.
We can't see it.
I had to res
Zero.
twice.
Oh, you got a 0.
I actually had to res twice.
Yeah.
We
have,
don't get broken, people.
I have seen a lot of different character setups. We're going to talk about this kind of in the community discussion section because the scoring on this is completely bonkers to me. But yeah, I mean, I brought Beatrix, Selfie, and Tara, and was able to do it in 35 turns for 233,000 as my high score.
I
with a friend Beatrix and Bahamut summon.
I did after I got tired of trying my team, I did Beatrix, Kate, Sith, and Selfie with a Beatrix friend, brother summon, and did it first try.
See, I went in with Beatrix, Tara, and I don't know, Scarecrow somewhere, and some Fran and some summon. Because I thought, you know what, I've got MLB Tara, no EX, but who cares? I've got MLB Beatrix. I'm gonna tear that thing apart. Nope. It did not. I think went in with Squall, maybe a friend Squall. Yeah, that was. Yeah. I want to say bad planning, except for the fact I had no planning. I just thought I would tear it apart, and yeah, not that much.
No,
because that lady, Marilit Gloria, I should have listened to this podcast before and hear the don't get broken thing, because she gets a massive amount of bravery at that point, and I just couldn't.
And super fast. She gets super fast if she breaks you, so she gets tons of bravery and then can act again and kill one of your characters.
I didn't even know that mechanic. Her speed increases?
I think, yeah. Isn't that one of her big things? Is the speed increases after a break?
Shows how much I pay attention to these fights.
I don't know.
Tell me one thing. You don't read the dialogue. You don't read the story. You don't read the mechanic. Why the hell do you play this game?
To kill things. I like to see big numbers.
But it's not even a challenge.
I mean, you got me there.
I understand why you gave up Langrisser, because it was actually a challenge.
Wow, wait a minute. Was that a
wow, ouch.
Low blow?
Well, you agreed for a second.
You're not getting this kind of conflict on other streamers right now.
If we're gonna derail for a second, it was because I felt like Langrisser had these really artificial difficulty walls. I'm sure you guys can all agree with me on that, right? Because you both played it. Like, the difficulty spikes so high each level.
Well, I'm not a big fan of, the game being locked behind the player level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so the only way for you to advance is to play for 100 days, and yeah. I would just rather be able to level the characters and do what I want to do without, I want to be able to play the game, and it's just, it wasn't.
I like turn-based combat, Pierre. That's my answer.
All right, that works. I'm still playing Langrisser.
Mino's actually never played a Final Fantasy game. He's never no experience with Final Fantasy.
Yep.
A lot of Call of Duty. He's a big Call of Duty guy.
Fortnite.
Tons of Fortnite. Tons of Fortnite. I'm playing Fortnite right now with him. We're playing Fortnite as we're podcasting. So
Another thing you guys stopped inviting me to.
League of Legends, a lot of League of Legends.
Okay, what's next to get off my ineptitude to read?
I'm actually, just to finish this, I'm still playing Langrisser. I'm level 34, I think, or something, and it's the no, sorry, 36, and the wall of like, there's a whole bunch of crap, and I'm at the point where I feel, if I'm not dropping dough, it's not gonna work. So I'm about to give up,
Thank you, Pierre. I feel justified now.
and I'm about $120 in, just to give you an idea. And yeah.
I feel justified now because, like I said, I saw that wall coming. I was like, I don't want any part of. After playing DFFOO, I can't go back to games that require stamina
Well,
because. Go ahead.
here's the thing that I'm realizing with this, and that I had realized with Fire Emblem and forgot. Uh, Gacha games that lock the character, the only way to obtain the characters is through gacha. I'm
Yeah.
a huge sucker for those, and I learned to hate them really quickly.
I
So,
just don't like stamina
I agree.
games because I'm checking my phone on a schedule, and then before I realize it, I'm a slave to my phone, and I have to be checking every couple of hours, and that's just no way to live.
yep, no, I'm.
I agree on both counts. I thought we were sticking to the outline this week.
Okay,
so,
okay,
We
but
are,
let
we
me
are.
just.
You wrote
Okay.
Langrisser. It's right there, line 23.
I did. Really?
back
To the
to the
outline?
outline. But let me put one.
Disgusting.
Let me just say one last thing: is that Pierre burned me good on this. I can't. He's right. I don't read anything. Why am I playing
That's-
this game?
Like the story's not bad, and
It's not. It's not. I will
There's funny
defend the story.
cutscenes. I mean,
Yeah.
there's neat little cutscenes, except when there's a whole bunch of kids picking on Laguna. I didn't like that. But
Well,
that brings us to our next event.
wait.
Yeah.
One last thing, but it's just to prove my point. Uh, I have absolutely no emotional attachment to Langrisser, its story, and its characters, so I skip all the dialogue. I mean, all of it. And I actually got my ass handed over to me in one of these battles because apparently, and that's what I read afterward, in the dialogue they say, you're going to hold this swamp for a while, and then we'll come and help you. And as I start, going down with my characters, and I get beat up. And just before my last
That's
character
hilarious.
dies, all of these friendly units pop up at the top. It's like, oh my god, that was a trap. I was supposed to get the enemy to come up. And now I try to pay attention a little more because it was told in the story what I was supposed to do. So
Okay, so in my defense, Pierre, I don't think DFFOO dialogue has ever
nope,
mattered to the gameplay.
absolutely
So
not.
that's one.
It's
And the
not.
second thing is, I guess, to give a real answer to you is that one, as an FF fan, it's just fun to play with these characters that you grew up with, right? Using their
Absolutely.
kits, seeing their weapons, and also because I don't feel like I need to know the boss mechanics until I lose a fight. Because
But how
otherwise you're just
often does that
focusing on your
happen?
strategy. Let's. I had to retry a lot on the last week's events. The anniversary EX, right? That was pretty difficult. And the Beatrix EX, I had to rethink my team. Like I said, I tried to do it with the team I wanted to do, fell short, and just redid my team. But it's enough that I feel engaged with the game, if that makes sense.
Yep.
I play these mobile games as a casual game, but once in a while they'll throw like a little challenge, a little puzzle that I have to think about, and that's what I appreciate.
Well, here's the thing, buddy. You do a weekly podcast about the game. Clearly, you must care at some level for it. So
Oh yeah. Thank
Let's
you.
enjoy the
Thank you
game,
for
right?
redeeming. Thank you for redeeming my point of view.
Here on the Crystal Chronicles, we don't care how you play DFFO. We're just glad that you do.
well,
Is
I
And
that
that
mean,
you're joining us.
are we not the best example of this? We are three different players of this game. You can't get any more casual than me, and you guys are, a whole different level of skill in playing. So there we are. We are the podcast for everyone.
We're a good group, Pierre. And to put
Everyone's
it, and
podcast.
I want to say that like I think I focus more on the character side than I do the enemy side. I only pay attention to the enemy side when I'm losing, and then that's why Mark is so good because he pays attention to the enemy side.
All right, let's move on. Aerith. She used to be dead. She's not dead anymore. And what would you know? There's a lost
She's not
chapter
dead.
going on. The last chapter brings her awakening, but surprise, surprise, in a totally unannounced and weird pop-up kind of way, they decided to awaken Steiner and Shadow as well. It was just like this weird ass simple one-liner pop-up saying yesterday, oh, by the way, Steiner and Shadow awaken as well. Thank you. Like,
I love that they did that. I know a lot of people on our Discord theorize that because Steiner and Shadow were supposed to be on this wave of awakenings, and we've never had a LC where we were behind JP on Awakenings. So people were like, "Oh, they're probably going to awaken Steiner and Shadow." They did. And as many people are saying now, it's probably their way to speed up GL to catch up to JP still.
I
We
thought
might
they had given up on that.
I think they gave it up on completely catching up, like us being at the same point, but maybe they're still trying to bridge the gap a bit. But if they keep doing this every event and LC, they're awakening new characters. We could skip a wave or two of awakenings, which is what it seems like. Because Zell is also supposed to be awakened today, but he's on Garnet's LC. So chances are he's going to be awakened there, and we just got 3 or 4 extra awakenings.
Aminos
Which
on
is weird.
Twitch says that Shadow was supposed to be on this wave, but not Steiner.
Oh, okay.
Steiner
Uh,
was
Even further ahead,
supposed to
probably.
be. Yeah, Steiner was supposed to be on wave 6.
Okay.
And so was Saban, right?
So,
No, Saban's on track. No shit. No, you're right. Is Saban pushed? Yeah,
Yeah.
Sabin's on this one, isn't he?
Yeah.
yeah, but he was supposed to be on the
Shadow
next
was supposed to be. It was supposed to be Zell,
Shadow
Cyan,
and yeah.
Zell, Cyan, Fujin, Tifa, Shadow, Vincent.
Well, rest in peace, Cyan, because you weren't
But
that great to begin with, and now you're.
Shadow and Steiner. So Steiner jumps up. Shadow jumps up before his awakening by a day. So, but yeah. So, interesting. So we could end up with our character roster fully awakened to level 60 before we get all of our LCs and all of our character events leading up to that point.
Yes.
So we're not necessarily catching up in terms of number of LCs, number of character events, but we could be catching up in terms of awakenings. Because I think we are way ahead of schedule in their awakenings. I haven't looked at the list 100%.
I mean,
but
people like to say we're behind on awakenings compared to events and LCs, but we're
Well-
definitely ahead when it comes to time of year.
time-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, a Twitch adult joke that I will not repeat here.
Awesome.
So, what's new with Aerith, Steiner, and Shadow in their awakenings?
So if you don't remember what Aerith does, she's a healer, and she has the unique ability to resurrect a fallen party member. And if you have her fully awakened, she becomes a little bit better of a healer and a little bit better of a brave battery. And I'm looking because I have no idea what Prayer of the Center does when it's fully awakened.
Do you want some help
yeah.
there?
No, it's just a little bit better. And she gets an HP attack plus. So, and max brave plus. Yeah. So it's, I'm fairly underwhelmed. I'm not a big Aerith fan, but it's hard for, I mean, she's a healer and she's a support character that does some brave battering, and her brave battery is pretty good, especially when she's buffed. It is based on her attack, which is low, but you can buff it up a little bit. So I'm interested in anybody on Twitch, anybody who's a big fan of Aerith, who's awakened her and using her, but she's got a lot of competition right now in terms of support. That's going to be the big issue with any of these supports. Aerith is going up against Selfie. She's going up against Kate Sith. She's even going up against Beatrix at this point, right? So Aerith without her rework, Aerith without her EX weapon, it is a little underwhelming. That's my opinion.
No,
See if you
it's a
guys.
fair opinion because in JP she was supposed to be our first valid healer. I think she's coming pretty late because we have Selfie as a much more valid healer now, and it was supposed to be just in time for the Diablos event that we want to talk about, where you kind of need to bring a healer for the EX4.
Yeah.
All right.
Pierre, your ML beat Aerith. How's she treat you?
What?
Do you have any gear for Aerith?
I actually got.
I got her 35 CP on that draw.
Yeah, I got her 35 CP on.
I didn't
draw.
have gear for either three of these characters, and so I got Steiner and Shadow's 15 CP and Aerith's 35 CP. So at least I have something for all of them as I'm leveling them here later this week.
I already had Steiner 35 CP, and I had nothing for the two other schmucks, and I got Air at 35 CP and Shadow 15 CP. So at least, some gear to put on them while I level them up and put them back on the bench.
I, for some reason, really wanted Shadow's 35 because I'm a big FF6 fan. And I think I did the half pull and 40 tickets, came up with nothing. And then multiple people in Discord reminded me that I can just use the anniversary tickets to get the 35.
Yeah.
And I was very mad at myself afterwards because
not only do we have the weapon tokens, right? We actually have the anniversary weapon tokens,
right.
And we have 10 currently if you've completed the two battles. So
right. So I was excited for Shadow. I spent 2.5k gems and 40 tickets. I don't think it's that much, but someone reminded me that it was a waste. So...
yeah, that's nice. Did you want to talk about Shadow's Awakening, Mino?
Oh yeah, so let's talk about the Awakenings. I was excited for Shadow because I thought he would be pretty useful. I don't know how much right now. We'll see going forward, but his whole gimmick is ignoring defense. And I don't think we have too much of that in the 60 era yet. Because what he gets with his Awakening is he has the, as Kreese said, and I agree with, is he's a physical version of Terra who trades the debuffs for pure damage. He has a battery into HP, just like Terra, to ignore defense. And he has a double Brave HP physical that's unheard of other than Vaughn. Vaughn has a magic version. He has this. And that turns his Brave Plus throw into an attack that completely ignores defense. So he'd be a huge boon to those trying to ignore defense, and I thought that was a really cool mechanic, but I'm not sure how many enemies coming up that'll actually be useful for.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
I don't have his 35 CP, so I couldn't tell you. Steiner, on the other hand, good old Steiner.
Tell me about Steiner, because I remember when he launched in JP, people just called him a poor man's Squall.
Well, he's a tin can. What do you expect?
That's interesting. Now the one, yeah, well, he's much less stylish. We need a costume for Steiner that would redeem him. A good costume.
What would his costume be? Actually, he doesn't have an alternate look associated with him, right?
Naked with a barrel over him.
Oh my God! Right. No,
yeah,
Pierre,
barrel.
that is perfect.
Barrel
you should
costume.
work for Square Enix.
Good. Get working on that. I want cup of noodles. There's another one we talked about last week. I want cup noodles. I want Steiner in a barrel.
You do realize if I do that, I already have my own agenda, right?
You are 100% right that the perfect alternate costume for him is naked in a barrel. That is 100% spot on.
Just saying.
So right, so Steiner has a brave attack and he has an HP attack, and he's one of those characters that started the game with an HP attack, which was nice, right? Early in the game, we didn't have a lot of HP attack characters, so
Yeah, I remember those
um,
days.
back in the day, we didn't have none of them. So, and he also does extra damage against humanoids, specifically mankins. Really helps. There's not a lot of other humanoid characters, is there? But against the mankins, he's really helpful, and bosses that are human, like the bad guys in the game. But yeah, so his power break and Spellblade get a little bit stronger. I don't think Spellblade gets an HP attack, does it? Oh yeah, no, it does. Spellblade does trigger an HP attack, and then splash damage if HP is at least 50% of max. So as long as his HP is healthy, his Spellblade ability does become AOE splash damage, and it does do HP damage. The interesting thing about Steiner, and tell me how this translates if anybody's awakened him and used him, for both of his powers, once you get the extension, the 55 and 60 level passives, it says he increases his own brave based on party's total max brave, which seems to me like that would be a huge number, right? So when using power break, increase brave based on party's total max brave. And if you look at Spellblade extension, it's the same thing. When using Spellblade, increased brave based on party's total max brave.
It appears to be 10% of total M Brave. So if you add up all 3 M Braves and then take 10% of it, it's not
10%. Yeah, looking at the thing, it's not worded very well. It should be worded better.
It's a cool mechanic, but ultimately everyone else that scales off of, say, 100% of their attack or like 50% of their M Brave, much more impressive.
Yeah, I guess if you're in like a boss, right now, if you're in like a boss summon and everybody's sitting at 30,000,
that's fair.
Right,
yeah.
You're still, you could generate some decent brave, but yeah. So
right.
yeah, poor man's Squall. Okay.
EX battles. So we're not going to cover, the all of the easy parts of DLC. Mark, I think you're the only one who actually had time to go into the hard battles for Aerith, and especially the EX battle. What is there to know?
So you're fighting 2 behemoths. They're weak to fire. Yay. The bad thing about these behemoths is they have AoE attacks. One of them is the lightning lash attack. I mean, we're all pretty familiar with King Behemoths by this point. The lightning lash attack is just an AoE brave attack, but they have 2 other ones. One's called Meteor, and one's maybe Tail Lash or something like that, where they generate brave and then they do HP attacks. So they can do quite a bit of AoE HP damage to you straight up when you see all from either of the bosses, and you fight 2 of them in the difficult level 100 battle. So there's not much you can do except kill them, or if you have they might be immune to HP silence, but that might be an option if you're really struggling with it, or of course this is Eris event, so you want to bring a healer.
HP silence.
And if you have one of the
Kefka's ability, right?
Yeah, HP silence. We were just fighting a boss that was immune to it, so they may be immune to it, so be careful. They aren't immune to debuffs, but they do buff themselves, and their self buff I think gives like 5 buffs. So even debuffing cannot always be very good unless you're bringing a certain pirate who is just awakened, who dispels all buffs and then debuffs. But we'll talk about her in a little bit. So it's not a terribly difficult fight. I did it twice because I did not get the high score with Aerith. As I just said, my Aerith has a 35 CP, no 15 CP. She is Crystal Strength 51, level 50. I've not leveled her yet. And I brought Squall because I'm not bringing, Aerith is my support character. I brought Squall, Tidus, and Aerith, and I brought a friend Squall because we're fighting 2 bosses, and I brought a Freet. And I was able to beat it in a painfully long, what seemed painful to me, 57 turns. Like by the end of the 57 turns, I'm like, I don't even know what to do with Aerith. I don't even know what her powers do at this point. Like, oh, Prayer of the Center. I don't even, what is that doing for me? It's not doing anything whatsoever. So I'm like brave attacking with her because that seems like it's more useful to me. So I was able to beat it. I got 100. Like I'm complaining about taking 57 turns. I was able to complete all of the missions and get 112,000 with that team set up with my MLB Squall, my MLB Titus, both with EXs, and Aerith, who had nothing and was particularly useless during that fight. I went back and I brought Beatrix and Selfie. That went much better. That was 175,000. So, and I did bring Squall as a friend Squall, and so shooting there. And remember that Beatrix's Clim Hazard is AOE if you're fighting multiple opponents. So is Titus's. That's why I brought it.
Cool. To add on to that, I was able to finish it on my lunch break today, and I brought my lazy meta team of Kate, Selfie, Beatrix. That's just been clearing all the scores for me lately without trying. No. I replaced Selfie with Aerith. I tried the carry run. I got the score on my carry run. Mark scared me because he was telling me how bad his carry run was. All I did was replace Aerith with Squall as soon as the battle started. Got me through all the trash waves. And then all Aerith did the rest of the battle was Healing Wind. And I was able to clear it in under 40 turns and got the score. So I was grateful I didn't have to run that twice. But overall, talking to people on Discord, pretty easy if you have the meta units, I believe.
Again, yeah. If you have the best units, it's not that difficult.
Exactly.
If you don't, it's probably tough. So,
yes.
Yeah. Anybody bring Steiner, Shadow, and Aerith fully awaken? Let us know how that worked out.
I heard Steiner works very well on this fight.
Yeah, you fight some mankins, and then he's got the fire ability with his spellblade. So
yeah,
the fire element. Yeah. All you fully awakened Steiners out there. Yeah, cool.
All three of you guys.
Both.
All right. Before we jump on the next thing, I just want to remind people that are with us live on Twitch that we are now, thanks to you, a Twitch affiliate channel, which means that you can subscribe to this show to show your support and everything. We are not on Patreon. We are not on any of that. We don't have ads or anything, but there are some costs to this weekly podcast. Obviously, we're not in this for the money, but if you would like to chip in, we are always more than happy to oblige and take your support. So take a second to, subscribe to the channel, drop some bits or bots or whatever you kids these days called it, and we'll be more than thankful for the support. Moving on. Reminiscence Escalade with Squall, Bots, and Dark Cecil. There was a banner that came with it, and I think that you were not too impressed with that banner, Mark, right?
Well, it was fine. I got 2 or 3 power stones from that banner because I had all the weapons. So
yeah, I feel like these are some of the oldest characters in the game. Let me
it's
see.
Not a feeling you have; it's a fact. Like it's.
Yeah, Squall and Bartz and Dark Knight Cecil have been available since day one, right? So I feel like any veteran. Okay, not I feel, but every veteran player should have most of them geared out already. So this is pretty bad for veteran players. Maybe better for newer players.
Well, even veterans need power stones, buddy.
That's true.
So, what did you get on the anniversary draw?
I
Because it
got
was a
15.
free pull.
Yeah, I got 15 CP Cecil. How about you guys?
I got 2 or 3 power stones. I don't remember how many exactly, but maybe 2.
I would love to say I didn't pull on it because I have absolutely no souvenir, but I don't see the free pull anymore, so I must have pulled on it and it was not great.
It must have been so forgettable. A 0 out of 11 that you didn't even register it.
No, it had to be a 1, but.
Oh yeah, I was just messing with you.
But yeah, I very sincerely have no souvenir of what it was. So let's see what came with that. It was a was it co-op or a
No, this is the reminiscence.
no,
This is the you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different battles,
right.
and this is where you get the anniversary tokens.
Okay.
So 6 different or 5 battles, and then the EX, which is only a level 90. And you're fighting bosses that you fought in the regular story mode. That's the idea of reminiscence. We're gonna have 4 of those events, and it brings you through the different bosses that you fought throughout the game. If
Any
you don't read and don't know what's going on, what's
so
happening.
in the outline you wrote and I quote EX LOL.
Yeah, well, this is a Squall synergy event, so I don't know what to say besides bring Squall and a friend
Renspuken.
Squall. And if I mean, I assume maybe there's a few people that don't have Squall with I mean, not his EX, just his 35
Well,
CP.
see, now you mentioned that, Lord Yenny says, and I think he's talking to you, Mino. He says, Day one, still looking for Squall 35, and because he's an LC character, his weapons aren't on the anniversary banner.
Oh, well, to address that, Lord Yanni, you could be like me. Apparently, we are supposed to get enough power tokens to get any 35 CP by the end of the month. So if you're really that big of a fan of Squall, it's coming in 2 weeks, as long as you do all the events.
There you go.
Hmm.
So, anything more to mention, or do we move on?
I mean, it's
It's just
pretty
bosses
easy.
we've already beat.
It's
Yeah.
bosses we've already beat. You could be a little creative if you wanted to and bring, I mean, it's a level 90, so it's technically easier than some of the other fights. I mean, there's different bosses who are weak to different things. Some of them are weak, so I kind of brought a mixed team. I'm in Advent, or let me get to escalate. Um, yeah, they are, so pay attention. They are weak to different things, like the erratic prototype is weak to lightning, melee, and range. The erratic red giant is weak to melee and range. The Antolin is weak to magic, earth, wind, and dark, which is a great musical group. And but he's not resistant to anything, right? So you don't have to worry about that. And the sandworm is resistant to magic, which sucked when I brought my Beatrix, because I brought Beatrix.
Same.
And weak to melee and ranged, and also resistant. So I brought Beatrix. Is why the hell not? The sandworm is resistant to lightning and to magic. So screw Beatrix, I guess. Just bring Dark Knight Cecil and Squall and launch. That's how you get that score. Yeah.
All right. Awakening Wave 5 that just dropped an hour 15 ago.
Awakenings. There's awakenings.
There's
Cool.
awakening. We are fully awakened, contrary to popular belief. So, the new awakened characters are Jack Red Crystals, Ferris Blue Crystals, sorry buddy, Fujin Green Crystals, Tifa Yellow Crystals, Sabin Black Crystals, and Vincent White Crystals. White crystals for a guy that's supposed to be undead or something? That's really weird.
Right?
Anyhow, so basically, Jack came in for Zell, Ferris came in for Cyan, sucker, and Sabin came in for Shadow that was awakened a day earlier. The EX weapons that are on these banners are Remza and Onion Knight. So what's new with these guys? We're gonna go one on one like we usually do. We'll do over Jack. What's exciting with Jack now that he's awakened?
Well, let's talk to his number one fanboy.
Oh, man. Really? All right. Well, I am the fanboy for Jack, and I
I'm
did
gonna go
awaken him.
grab a glass while he rambles. No, I'm just
Go
kidding.
ahead.
Just kidding.
No, but I mean, it's nothing huge, but at the same time,
Unlike
it
his sword.
makes a big difference because both of his moves have a 20% overflow now,
Yeah, it's nice.
which is very nice. And he gains even more attack and max brave from his passives as long as he has buffs on. And we're probably going to come back to this fact a lot, but somebody brought up on Reddit and Discord that I like to think about is that this wave of awakenings is very focused on elemental imperils, right? We
Yep.
have Vincent with fire and lightning, Sabin with wind and holy, and Fujin with wind again. And Diabolos, which we'll get to later, also increases elemental weakness. So Jack pairs perfectly with Vincent. Very good for this banner, but his overflow, he gets overflow on both of his abilities now. He hits hard. That's all you need to know. That's the only improvements he has. Is he worth bringing to a meta team though? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna try anyways. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah. Now, if I recall, remind me if I'm incorrect here. When Jet came out originally, one of his things is he really needs to like be paired with a battery, right, to like buff his brave before he makes his attacks. Is that correct?
Yes, let me cut in there because CSAM on Twitch says, don't forget he gets a big eye brave boost too. He automatically doubles his initial brave, which means regens kick in really hard on him. And I think that's a good change. Instead of needing a battery, people have just like theorized that if you give him to Kate Sith or Ramza, he'll regen enough brave on his own to constantly have 100% uptime.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like I said, I don't have his weapons, so he's not one that I'm awakening past level 51 yet, but we are also starved for TPS, so he might fill a nice spot there.
All right.
Especially in this team.
For the 4 players that still have blue shards, let's talk about Ferris and what's new with her
And
favorite
I'm
pirate.
so upset about the blue shard situation. Like, there's a few people that like have tons of blue shards. I don't know how they do that.
They don't use them.
I have awakened more characters in blue than any other color. Cloud, not Zidane, but he's in the. I've awakened Cloud. I have awakened Tidus. I have awakened who else? Kate Sith and Laguna. All fully limit broke, all maxed, all that kind of stuff. I have Ash fully limit broke. I have Zidane fully limit broke. Both blue crystal shards not awakened because I can't awaken them. I don't have Ferris's stuff, but I would love to have Ferris's stuff because I think she gets really cool in her awakening. Ferris was a debuffer. You know, she does this water attack, is her water whirl, and then cannon fire was her debuff. With her awakening, water whirl, of course, she gets more uses, but water whirl, first of all, because she's one of the Final Fantasy V characters, she has to master it. Water whirl becomes more powerful and deals bonus damage if a character is debuffed, and becomes an HP attack. And converts Brave into Brave Plus. So that's what Water Whirl does, makes it a little better. The big thing is Cannon Fire. Cannon Fire becomes more powerful, becomes AoE, dispels all buffs on a target, and then large chance to inflict attack down 50%, defense down 50%, max brave down 30%, and poison 70% of int brave for 8 turns. So her cannonball dispels all the buffs, so like these 2 King Behemoths on Era's LC banner.
Yes.
They pop up 5 buffs, right? All of a sudden. She cannonballs, those 5 buffs are wiped, and she sets a whole stack of debuffs on, including poison. So, I mean, I think that's freaking awesome as a debuffer. We do have a lot of debuff options, including Vincent, who I'm going to fully awaken. But I mean, I think she's really cool if you have her gear and you have blue shards. I don't have either. So that sucks for me.
let me throw in my 2 cents on that. I have a lot to say about Ferris too. I think she's a great unit. First of all, you talked about the mastery. Now with fully awakened, she only needs 1 use of an ability to master. So that's very quick now. She only gives max brave and speed with her mastery, as opposed to bards who gives every stat, but it's 1 use to master, so you get it right away. I remember in JP when she released in the 60 era, basically she's the best dispeller, everyone says, because not only is it an AoE dispel now, but like you said, they throw on like 4 debuffs afterwards as well.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
you can't compete with that. Honestly, she's gonna be the best speller, and she's the only person right now who has a water elemental brave to HP, which is
Yep.
huge. So I think she's great. I'm personally holding off on awakening her just to see what kind of fights come up. But if there are ever fights that need dispelling, she's the go-to
Yeah.
character, I think. Also, oh sorry, to chime in, Kreese said he tried out Ramza with Awake Inject, and it's still not, the regen is not enough to get him there, so he still needs a battery. Just
Still
a
needs a
quick
battery.
correction. Yeah.
So
All right. I'm tempted to pass over, but just for Fujin,
negative.
anything to say
Yeah.
about Fujin?
So
Anything?
yeah, so Fujin's your wind damage, wind in peril. The problem with Fujin is she is now sharing a banner with another character who does wind in peril, who is arguably better than her, right? So originally Shadow was going to be on this wave with her, and now Saban's on this wave, so he got bumped up a wave, and
Mhm.
he does wind in peril, and he does holy in peril, and he's slightly better. So first
Yes.
of all, this whole Cypher, Fujin, Raijin were not good characters when they came out in the chapter that they were on. I don't think Cypher still doesn't have his EX weapon in Japan, right? Which is sad for him. And yeah, so I mean, I like Fujin, Raijin, and Cypher a lot. I like the disciplinary committee. I love Final Fantasy VIII. I think she just got kind of like kicked in the teeth because they put Saban on this banner, and I think arguably he's a little bit better. So, is there anything she does like maybe he doesn't do? Am I missing something?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, so it's a very specific gimmick. I think it's kind of cool. Not something I'd ever personally use, but so Sabin and her both um
Oh,
imperil.
She enchants
Yeah,
her.
she enchants as well.
I
So
apologize.
when you come across neutrally
Yeah.
elemental neutral enemies, neutral resistant enemies, she can make the party do much more damage. And there's tons of non-elemental attackers out there who can really take advantage of her enchant. So when it comes to that, she's better than Sabin. But
Yeah.
it's a gimmick, I think.
Right.
I wouldn't
Right.
personally use it, but I do think it's really cool, and she's the only person who can do that, to enchant and imperil in a single move, besides Garnet's EX weapon, which is coming up. EX weapons are super rare. Not everyone's going to pull
Right.
for Garnet, but so she's the safe bet. If you ever want to play with that mechanic, she's the 100% available option. Garnet does it better, but she is rare.
Yeah, there are wind options, so wind teams are available. But
All right.
there you go.
Tifa.
If you hate skeletons, awaken Tifa. I know. Oh, poor Tifa. Yeah, looking at Kreese's, that's the very first thing he said too. Poor Tifa. Yeah, I don't. Her extensions are not great. Beat Rush gets a little more
Beat Rushy.
powerful. You know, the skeleton damage gets more, and it does. Brave can overflow.
Kreese says Tifa is
Ah,
VV 2.0, and that is not
Yeah,
good.
I wanted to touch on that too, but go ahead, Mark. Finish
but
your thought.
I like Vivi. I awakened him and I use him. I
A
don't think.
lot of people used Vivi for Aerith LC and did amazing. So
Yeah. Yeah, so Beat Rush can trigger an HP attack, but then you have Battle Cry, which is still worthless. Right? I mean, raises Brave. Yeah, yeah, it's not good. I don't. Tifa will get reworked, and does she get an EX anytime soon?
yeah, she does get an EX within the next 2 or so months, which is apparently an amazing EX for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But it's the best single target damage until we get Kuja, if I remember correctly. And Kreese is right about the comparison to Vivi. She has one that boosts her stats by a crazy amount, and then a second ability that's just a Brave to HP if it hits high enough. I think the timing's bad. I remember when she came out in JP, she was actually noted as a pretty decent DPS, but like you said, our awakening waves are behind. We already have the Kate and selfie meta, and now we have Beatrix too. So, oof, tough luck, Tifa.
Or Tifa.
All right. Speaking of characters that we used to love but are not that good, let's talk about Sabin.
I'll take the lead on this again because he's my favorite.
Oh,
Well,
he's one of my best too,
oh,
and
thank you.
but yeah,
Yeah. So
if you
I
don't
think
like ghosts, bring Sabin. That's the
I
thing.
think
He's a little better than that.
they decided that the ghost specialty was stupid, so they gave him a new specialty now, which is he imperils the opposite elements of Vincent, wind and holy. I want to say this is really good because I feel like one of our heavier DPSs are wind and holy. Vaughn is wind and holy. Prish does wind and holy. Kuja will do holy. You know, there's some options there for Sabin and his imperils, but Vincent has more range. I think more people do fire and lightning damage than they do.
Well, and he has a gun, so that helps. Thank you.
I really want Sabin to be good, but he's okay now. I would say not the best, but he's an option. I fully awakened him without thinking. He's one of my favorite characters, but I think the fact that he can imperil his own elements and they all are brave plus HP makes him better than normal. Makes him useful for fighting things other than ghosts. But I think it's hilarious that he now has a brave plus that does 100, like a ton of damage to ghosts. So they're still trying to keep that in, but I think he's a decent support character now, not a top tier character. But I'm hoping his EX is amazing when it comes out. Please save Sabin, Square Enix. This is embarrassing.
And finally, Vincent.
Vincent becomes better. AoE attacks, both of his attacks become AoE. HP attacks on top of that, so they become AoE and HP on the target that they hit, actually. And they're imperil. And he enchants himself, right? Does he enchant himself both?
Yeah, he's already done that before Awakening.
Yep. Yeah, he enchants himself. But then casts imperil, so he
To
gets better. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying he gets better.
To quote Kreese, because I think he put it best in his evaluation, is that Vincent was never a DPS character. He's always been a support and debuffer. He just now does what he does better. It's just AoE now instead. His damage doesn't increase at all with his awakening, but his insane...
it's not a huge awakening, but it's it's good for him, right?
It's still huge because his debuffs are ridiculous, right?
Exactly.
Like I think it's like an 80% attack debuff, something stupid like that, and he puts it on everybody now. So,
yeah, his int brave down is 80% and his attack down is 70%.
70, got it. Nice.
Minus 70%, and it's AoE. So yeah, they're great debuffs. Yeah, there you go.
All right, so do we do some banners? I was gonna pull once.
Yeah, there's a couple EXs. Did I put that in the?
Yeah.
You want to cover the EXs really quick?
We're gonna do it the Price is Right style. So as I pull on each banner, I'll let you tell me what I could win tonight if I have.
What could you win?
Sure. What's the first banner, Pierre? Let us know.
Which banner first?
Let's see. My game somehow quit. Let's see. So tonight on the why do I have a pop-up? Okay. Draws, let's see. So first one, Onion Knight.
Onion Knight. There we go.
So if I win Onion Knight, Onion's Knight EX, what what do I get out of this, Mark?
You get an EX that can be either magic or physical, right?
Yep.
There you go. Woohoo!
Gives him the max stats of either, depending on
Yeah.
what stacks he has. So if you have ninja stacks out, it'll max his ninja stacks. If you have magic sage stacks out, it'll max his sage stacks. And I kind of want this weapon because you get 2 EX animations for the price of 1. It's not
Yeah,
particularly great,
that's
but
exactly
I want
why.
it.
So
Yeah.
I did my poll not to break Pierre's poll.
He got Onion Knight, EX, and Jack 35 CP.
Yep, Jet 35, which I didn't have either. So
Hey, congratulations! You got Sabin 35. It even said congratulate. Now you have a fully kitted Sabin,
Yeah, I
Pierre.
got
There you go.
Tifa's 15 CP, Sabin's 35, and Sabin's 15 CP.
Why are you
Very nice.
laughing, Mark? That's the grand prize. Like that's what you want on that banner.
I'll keep my Onion Knight EX. Thank you very much.
All right, now onto Rams's
next
banner.
one.
If I were to get his EX, what will I be using
You
Ramza
get
for?
a super fast EX with a framed debuff.
Okay, and I have a fully limit broke Ramza, so I would not hate to get. Or
I have a
actually,
fully limit broke Onion Knight, so
I think I have fully limit broke Onion Knight as well. So
Ramza is, besides Realm, it's the first other framed debuff,
yeah.
and it's minus a huge amount to
oh
Yeah, it's a great
Christ,
debuff.
attack,
got-
defense, and speed. The best ones.
I got
Ooh.
fucking Fujin's 15 CP.
Congratulations! I don't have that weapon.
I got Fujin's 15 and Ferris's 35. So woohoo!
Yay!
I
And
got 4 things I didn't have. Very
so
nice.
was there another banner that was added tonight, or was that it? Just these two?
That
Oh,
was
the
oh, no,
Diablos
there's
banner. The
there's a World
Diablos
of
banner
Illusion.
with Edgar
Edgar.
WOI, right? Which is supposed to be really good for him if you plan on using Edgar. I might kind of pull for that actually.
Ah, you know what? Might as well. Oh, well, I can't. pull
Yeah,
for it.
do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I just need to clear my inventory. Calm down. It's gonna happen.
Let me look up really quick what it does. I remember it's a huge. It gives them an aura basically, and it looks like it increases everyone's attack and max brave as long as there's a debuff on an enemy by 10%. Not the best, but I remember for some reason people really rated this weapon high if you're an Edgar user, for sure.
Okay.
Oh, Kim Jong Cool is asking what Diablos does. We're gonna get to that very shortly.
Well, why don't you talk about it real quick, because I need to clear my inventory, so I can't pull on it
Okay.
now.
Let's jump right to it. So
That's
Diablos is like the summon version of Kryl. His effect is he boosts elemental weakness damage done by 30% when the character is under 50% HP. This stacks onto Kryl as well. So right now in the game, there's a possible total of 260% elemental weakness damage possible. 20% from enchant, 30% from Diablos, 50% from weakness, and 60% from Kryl. So if you, for some reason, want to see huge numbers, you can run Kryl with Diablos and see how high that can get. But getting under the 50% HP for the activation, I feel, is impractical. I don't think anyone sits at under 50% HP, much less you can control that.
Right.
The new World of Illusion, I remember when I don't know if things changed, because so basically in JP when it released, it was a big deal because it was the first WOI designed for level 60 characters. Because we've been steamrolling all these repeating WOIs, like we could auto most of these, right? But my friend just texted me saying that the level 60 for Diablos is autoable. Like he just puts auto on and he can farm the materials.
Nice.
I was told. I remember when it first came out in JP, it was a big deal. They said that a healer was needed. That Aerith got awakened right when this dropped because you needed air. If they didn't have other healers at the time, our schedule in GL is so messed up. Phoenix boasts HP damage over time and HP poison, which is very unique to the game so far. So far, we've had Brave poisons, but this one ticks down a certain set amount of HP every turn. And Phoenix is supposed to swap between stances, one being melee vulnerable and another being ranged vulnerable. And once you kill it, it comes back with more higher stats and a huge AoE Brave damage. But apparently, none of this is a concern so far, from what I am being told.
All right.
Anything to add
Oh,
on that, Mark?
well, is it just me? I'm not hearing you, Pierre. I saw you talking, but I wasn't
Sorry,
hearing
the
you.
dog went batshit, so I
Oh,
put
okay.
myself on mute.
I thought you were talking. I'm like, oh, I can't hear you. It's something
No,
going on my side.
so that's for the summon. We'll cover it more in depth next week with the battles and all. Community
Yeah.
dis-
Can I make a suggestion to
No, you
the?
cannot. So community, yeah, of
Okay.
course, go ahead.
Since the community discussion section would still be applicable next week, and we are going to have a little light content, can we move that discussion till next week?
I think that'd be great.
To
We're
talk a
already
little bit more
running
about
on
it, because
like an hour
we've
and a
got
half.
we've got so much content this week. So next week we're going to talk about scores, because I noticed doing the which event was it? The reminiscence event.
Mm-hmm.
That the score system seemed to be really weird by just talking to people on Discord and kind of figuring out scores. So we did a talk about that. So we're going to talk about that next week, about how you figure out how do you actually get the score that you get and what's it based on. And so we have that and some information about that. Some interesting revelations too. So look forward to that. Next week, I'm going to post on Reddit this question: what is your pull strategy going forward? So the reason I asked that, not like specifically who are you pulling for, but like we're getting into an era where characters need their EXs to be good. We're going to have more EXs. We're going to have, a whole bunch of changing kind of situations. We don't know what, they're going to do for global moving forward. Things have shifted quite a bit. So are you going to be pulling for your favorite characters? Are you going to be chasing EX weapons? If you're not, like, what are you going to invest in them? I'm just interested in what people's pull strategy is moving forward. Because as I look, I have a big spreadsheet with all the upcoming LCs, upcoming events, all the upcoming banners. And I'm just trying to figure out what the heck am I going to do moving forward? Like, I just pulled on both of these banners. Why not, see if there was a chance that I would get an EX, and I did. So yay for me. But is that your strategy, or do you have a little bit more contrived? So we're going to talk about that. Look for that on Reddit and in our Discord as well, and we will share that. Do you want me to do shout outs real quick before we talk
please
about?
go ahead.
Yeah. So we got a lot of people to thank for everything that we do in our community. We have a great community on Discord, and I'm sure Pierre can link that Discord chat to you in Twitch if you're following. First, Rem, who is the owner and operator of Decidia DB, where we do get a lot of our information, and Rem is part of our community and shares a lot of information with us, which is very nice. Thank you. Rem is Phantasmage on Reddit, and he wrote a real nice piece on Reddit called Past, Present, and Future. So encourage you to read that. It will be linked in the show notes if you haven't read it. Just a lot of love for Rem, and encourage you to do that. Mac Knoll is always doing co-op cheat sheets on Reddit, so go check out Mac Knoll. He's a friend of the show. His co-op cheat sheets, very good tips and tricks for how to live through co-op. Manta or Manta Kia on Reddit, YouTube, and Twitch always does preemptive strikes for us, and he actually YouTube's run-throughs for the EX events. So make sure to check out Manta. Quetz, who has done all of our bots on Discord and does a lot of number stuff for us. He does all of the EX battles on Twitch. Quetz actually does have a Twitch account. I found out this week, so sorry that we hadn't mentioned it before, Quetz. It's Quetz Samala. and yeah, right, Quetzalma,
We'll
excuse me.
link it in the show
Yes,
notes.
Quetz is how we refer to him as. So check out Quetz on Twitch, and you can do that. Shout out to Broadway Saiyan 40. He's a friend of the show. If you're looking for video reviews, he's always doing video reviews. He's got a Beatrix overview, Aerith overview, and Awakening evaluation all this week on YouTube. And he is streaming right now, but he's not streaming Dissidia, so it's okay. And of course, Kreese Zerink on Reddit, he's with us. He always is doing evaluations, and he's been doing a great job on evaluations. A lot of the Awakening stuff we talked about tonight came from his evaluations and REM's database. So thank you to Kreese. Check out his stuff on Reddit under Zerink. And Josepher, who I mentioned early, if you check out Josepher on YouTube, he is doing a kind of series for new players, and his most recent one is called Weapons Guide 2019. So some hints about weapons. And yes, we're going to talk about Manta. I'm saying that like somebody just said something to me because someone said something to me privately on a text. That's going to be in the upcoming events. I'll just transition for us. We have Garnet LC Lost Chapter on the 14th, and Manta. If you would like to bring that up, Mino, Manta has prepared a preemptive strike for us when it comes to Garnet's LC. So, do you want to cover that, or are you going to make me do it?
Sure. I'll breeze through it really quick. So, for those who remember Garnet's event, I remember it being a pain in the butt. But it was a flan that changes weakness between water and thunder, and strengths between fire and water. It was definitely geared to Garnet, so let's see the recommendations against. Garnet's the buffer debuffer. As we know, she's going to be releasing with her EX, which lets her imperil and enchant lightning and water, depending on what she uses. Manta recommends Vincent as a replacement, which I completely agree with because the lightning imperil and the enchant works really well. I think we got lucky that Vincent's releasing it, awakening at the same time here. It wasn't the case in JP. And he also recommends if you can't bring Garnet or Vincent, bring Kate Sith or Selfie as batteries to override all the weaknesses and resistances. Zell is the second synergy character, primarily as a debuffer for defense and attack. He recommends if you can't bring Zell, Terra for the same debuffs and high DPS. Edgar for the AoE sap, which is pretty interesting since it's always going to be summoning ads and he'll always get plenty of Brave. And Laguna for AoE attacks and debuffs along the same line. And the third synergy character is Cloud as a DPS/debuffer. He recommends Squall if you're going to bring the enchants and imperils. Squall obviously can do AoE DPS like no one else. Beatrix, which we're super lucky to have as a pure lightning DPS, because I remember during the event I used lightning as well, who was great for that co-op. So Beatrix should be amazing. And Noctis for launches for your score, which we'll talk about next week about inflating score.
Yeah. Hey, awesome that we're going to have a Beatrix Vincent boss for me to use my two characters on. Oh, hell, I'll bring Cloud just for fun. Or Garnet. I got her fully limit, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think that pretty much covers it all. Right?
It does.
So. Yeah.
It's the end of the show.
All right. So as you know, all of our social media links are available at tccpodcast.com. Remember to subscribe to our Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/The Crystal Chronicles. Again, this was episode 41, recorded on February 7, 2019. Come back next week for another great show. We'll talk about high scores. We'll talk about Garnet. We'll be talking about Garnet, right? Yeah, she'll
Yeah,
be
we're going to talk
dropping.
about Garnet LC and other
and
stuff.
all of that. So you guys have a good one. Good luck with your EX pulls and everything, and see you next week.